Regards from Beirut, the capital of Lebanon, an amazing and diverse country in the eastern side of the Mediterranean. Sadly, in the recent years and somehow decades, the news and rumors all around the world were not describing Lebanon as the most shiny and welcoming place. However, here am I. It's my second time in this amazing city, and I would like to show you how does it really feel like here. So welcome and join me in Beirut. From the first look, things seems to be amazing. We are now on the waterfront, is this beautiful marina, and there are like different towering buildings around. However, if you look closer, you can see that, let's say, this one is, for example, abandoned building. Yes, then there are some that are not finished or damaged or simply left. And this requires more understanding what's happening in the country at the moment, what is the local atmosphere, what is the national psyche. And obviously the best way to understand all of that is diving deep into the history. So I invite you for a short walk on the streets of Beirut, examining the history of Lebanon and checking out the capital of this country. Lebanon is situated in the eastern side of Mediterranean. On the one side you have a sea, here you go, and on the opposite the towering mountains, the Mount Lebanon. This geography defined the fate of the country. Lebanon, being located in the center of Levant, was always the crossroad between the cultures, invading armies, and different peoples who found a place here and called this land their own home. Therefore, it's a super diverse country where different civilizations actually coexist. Christian, Muslim, different representatives of nationalities. Quite rarely you can see such a huge mix as here in Lebanon. Several settlements here on the coast of Lebanon were founded by Phoenicians, and they are still actually among the longest inhabited cities in the world. One of them is Byblos, just like an hour drive north from here, from Beirut, which I visited last time when I was here, which is simply impressive. Now let's go inside the city actually and see how does it look there. While we are walking through these rather posh neighborhoods, I must say so, I noticed something really interesting as well. So one of the major streets have been blocked by the army, and there was some kind of checkpoint. So this also tells that things are not pretty easy, and there are different questions about the reality of life over here. So just take a look at this amazing buildings, like really, it could be like a world class somewhere in Miami or so, and these neighborhoods around, but also a girl sitting, and there are quite a few beggars that I notice around Beirut. So needless to say, those people are probably coming from the neighboring Syria, which used to experience a devastating civil war. Wow. So yeah, some of them try to work, some of them simply beg, but there are definitely a lot of refugees over here. And this is not a new situation for Lebanon. Starting with the other conflicts in the Middle East, traditionally, if possible to tell so, Lebanon was hosting refugees from Palestine. And now many Syrians also over here. Some of them even live here through generations. This reminds me about a visit to the largest refugee camp in the world of Rohingya nation who fled Myanmar and kind of stationed at the moment in Bangladesh. If you want to learn more about these people and their fate, make sure to check out the video about Rohingya refugee camp in Bangladesh. Very eye-opening and brought more perspective and understanding to how messy the world we are living in. Hard to believe this is Lebanon, right? This is Beirut. Well, but this is how I remember the city 5 years ago. Obviously, this is one of the affluent neighborhoods by the sea, which easily could be in any Western European or North American place. Doesn't even feel like a Middle East, because the way the city is built, I must say, already done with some kind of urban ideas for quality of life. However, at the same time, streets are still super packed all around, and definitely there is not enough of parking space for everyone. Oh, this one I remember. This is the structure built by Zaha Hadid Architecture Bureau, and some nice also representation of classical traditional architecture over here. But it is so quiet. 5 years ago it was bustling with life and people. Nowadays there is almost no one. I'm not even sure if it's operating or not. Let's go inside. This shop is closed. And here as well, very, very quiet. Most of the businesses are not in operation at the moment, guys. Here we've got some interesting historical quarter, and at least there I can see some people. Let's probably head that direction. As you notice, I'm simply improvising. I'm walking where the eyes lead me, and this is a good way to explore any destination because you feel it raw, and I hope you really appreciate sharing this journey with me. If yes, thumbs up, please like this video and share it with your friends. Look at this, yeah, the shop is closed, that one is closed too, completely sealed. Random people sitting on the both sides, and even when I was walking, I seen the shop owners or people who are working there just simply like went out, were greeting me, hello sir, please come in. It's definitely not the same vibe as it used to be before. It's interesting to see the sightseeing buses in the city with no people in them. I doubt if they are in operation or not, but what's also, when I was walking here now, I can notice that many of the areas in the central Beirut are completely locked by different military checkpoints. There is a heavy army presence in different areas, so it's not even possible to go everywhere we want. At least we are getting to this place. You can see the remains from the Roman time that is still preserved over here. And this obviously tells us that this part of the country used to be part of the Roman Empire. Yeah, kind of a prosperous area. And one of the earliest Christian communities started to develop here at the modern place of Lebanon, which actually explains this mix of population that we have at the moment. Because during the Roman times, after the Phoenicians, the Christians started to develop over here. And later on, in the 7th, 8th, 9th centuries, under the Muslim conquest of the Middle East, most of the population were converted to Islam or traveled here from different parts of then a mighty, huge empire. Numerous mosques around the city obviously remain us about this. So in regard to religious composition, I would say it's not 50-50, but still with a substantial minority of Christians, accounting up to 30-35% of the modern population in Lebanon. So that area that you can see, for example, is completely sealed by the army, and we cannot get there, even though this is one of the most interesting places in the city. It's hard to understand how the society coexists over here, having such completely opposite backgrounds, but this is the way how they actually make it happen. It's also worth noting that separation, despite that for most of the time in the history, both communities were coexisting peacefully, it's worth noting that there were times of violence and separation. For example, during the very cruel and destructive civil war, which actually divided even the city. The war lasted from 1975 all the way until the 1990, and one side of the city was under the Christian control, the other under the Muslim. In general, the country suffered a lot, not only through the civil war, but also the unrest in the following years. And obviously you remember about the biggest tragedy that happened here. So this is the port, guys, and this is the site of the huge explosion which happened here 4 years ago, basically destroying the entire section of the city nearby. There is some kind of bunker over there, just in the middle of the city, and very seems like empty houses. I am from Ukraine, so I kind of understand what does it mean living through the turbulent times. Unfortunately, my country is experiencing devastating war of aggression, which comes from the outer side, while many problems that happened in Lebanon came from within. So this is the place I wanted to go. You can see the entire city here is completely locked by the army. There are multiple barriers. Somehow I persuaded them to let me in, but this is really terrifying. If things are sealed, they're sealed for the long time. And this is actually one of the most beautiful parts of the city, which is now empty completely, guys. Oh wow. 5 years ago I was walking through here, and it was a tour, a lot of people from different countries. At some point after World War II, Lebanon was named the Paris of the East. Now it's a complete disaster from what I see at the moment. After gaining independence during the later years of World War II, all the way until the start of the Civil War in 1975, Lebanon experienced an economic boom in a good sense. It was the crossroad between the Gulf Arab countries, Western Europe. People were bringing here money, investment was growing. It was definitely the golden time for this city. And it seems like, even though you can see a fair amount of modern development from 2000s, it seems that still from that time it's going slowly into decline, unfortunately. So I was walking in the central part and spoke with the soldiers. Obviously I didn't film that, but I told them, like, why do you close it? He told, no people, no money, no business. But in my opinion, people don't go in a place which is controlled by the army. And that was actually what was happening there exactly. How would you conduct business if your neighborhood is completely locked? Some parts in Kiev, Ukraine, for example, are under similar circumstances. Someone might think, is it dangerous or not? First of all, I'm no stranger to these situations, but what I can say is that if there is a big presence of army somewhere, it means that the security levels are also pretty high. But yeah, these multiple checkpoints don't really look cool. Like, I just had to quickly close the camera because behind the corner there was another military base. And yeah, you just have to watch out where you're going and what you're filming. So on one side you have a heavy armored place, and on another side, look at this amazing historical mansion with like world-class towers in the background. And this all coexists in Lebanon and Beirut at the moment. In any case, if you have such roadblocks standing next to amazing buildings, it's definitely telling something is not correct over here, guys. This is not healthy as for me. So you might be wondering, why are those huge blocks standing over here? This is definitely not in order to improve traffic. This is done, so in case you need to close the road quickly, you just move them, and that's basically it. So those are all security measures, just in case if they will have to be applied. some kind of activity is present in the eastern side of the downtown, in the area called Hamza. There is even some kind of traffic, as you can see. Coffee shop is open over there, and businesses operate. Well, seems it used to be a very, very advanced city, and it definitely feels like this at the moment too. This reminds me here of some well-to-do areas of Istanbul, by the way. Another surprising thing here is that there is a lot of English language announcements and ads on the streets. Most of Lebanese are highly educated people. Native here is Arabic, obviously. Many people speak French due to its affiliation with France, and also English is very well understood and spoken by many people, I would say, over here. So completely not a problem to move around. Okay, let's keep on going. I've got a few things I would like to do here. Number one is I want to shave. Number two, we need to play tennis also. And number three, if possible, fix my tennis shoes. Let's see if we can make it happen. You can see the prices are set in dollars. Obviously, due to instability, the local currency was going down, shrinking, and as a result, people just gave up and just put everything in dollars. That's the reality. There are not many women on the streets. Not the way that I'm looking for them, but still, I would expect more balanced society, which it probably is, but at least somehow, as in other Muslim countries, mostly men are evident on the streets, not many women, even though here the lifestyle is relatively casual. I must say that I've been here 5 years ago. However, the city have changed, not for better, in my opinion. The atmosphere is different. There are less people on the streets comparing to this as I remember. And yeah, that's just the reality, how things are evolving. What else can I say? So now I'm having the quest. I'm walking with my shoes, explaining that I need to fix this one, and people give me directions on the streets. This is fun. Okay, so it was left and then right. Let's hope I will find it here. Some of the things I'm trying to do in every country I visit is to play tennis, and that puts a very interesting perspective in every destination I go. So now we are approaching tennis courts here in Beirut. There it is. Very interesting area, kind of run down a little bit, but with good cars. And let's check it out, how it will be, because this is something I cannot miss. So it's always interesting to visit different tennis clubs. You see different rackets which are living their better lives before. And the area, this is the coach station. Some seats formerly for spectators. And yep, our court just over here. Interesting spot, I would say. My tennis partner is already ready, and let's go. Let's have it a great match. So meet my tennis partner. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Ali.
Ali. And you?
Nadira.
Nadira. Nice. Thank you for playing with me. It's a pleasure.
You're welcome. I play with Technifiber.
Technifiber. Okay. I've got, guys, I've got Babolat, as you can see. My tennis racket is head gravity, but if I have a chance to borrow one on the courts, I actually do it. So, yeah. It was an amazing time.
يلا
Thank you very much
Guys,
for
welcome, sir.
letting me. And can you tell about your club a little bit? Is that the main tennis club in Beirut?
Yes.
How long are you functioning?
195. Sit on.
1925.
Yes, 26.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Wow. Very cool
It's
place.
number one in the.
Renaissance. It's founded by his father.
Really? So this Renaissance
Yes,
Tennis Club
club.
Beirut, and by your father is founded. Impressive. Okay, let's take a look inside in the club, in the office. So what's here?
This machine
Yeah, this is for strings.
strings. Yeah. And here you can see some old
All tennis rackets.
tennis racket.
I remember I was still playing Dunlop. This one, when I was a kid, I was playing like this. Oh, what's that?
Snowboard.
I never seen like this.
A side form, it's for backhand. The other side's for forehand. Yeah.
Very fun.
That shop, modern shop.
And these are just for new things. Okay, very well.
And here's 2 photos. And where
This is the coach.
the coach, the father.
Who
Muhammad
founded
Hayy.
this club?
Yeah, in 1926. 1926.
This is the one. Yeah, this. I
This
see.
guy, the old man,
Yeah.
his father.
The old. And here, this. He looks like a father. That's true. I look at this lady. Wow, so beautiful.
You can see this guy is like Muhammad Ali Clay.
Oh yes. My pleasure. See you next time.
Inshallah, next time.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, yes. Thank you.
Okay. Oh wow, this was quite the experience. This is what I love in traveling. Such kind of meetings give absolutely different perspective on the local life. And you see this how the traditional tennis club looks like. I believe it had better times, more prosperous. At least looking on this area around, which was probably some better maintained. We have a nice new building, then the abandoned one, another one which is under construction, and those. Let's carry on with exploring Beirut, guys. And if you also play tennis, please drop me a line and I'll be more than happy to catch up with you somewhere on a court. In case you're curious, where do I stay? It's a pretty central place here in Beirut, in a rather basic hotel, I would say so. Here is a room. It calls Hotel Regis. Some of my stuff's inside, the bed, fan, AC is not working. You can see the condition as well. Yep, that's me and my balcony with some nice scenery around. So traffic, some densely built areas. This looks like an abandoned building. And yeah, the sea coast is there. The hotel is called Regis, $25 per night, and a decent option for those who want to explore and stay centrally. Then also some towers on the horizon squeezed in between, and here you've got some kind of abandoned building which is standing now next to like a huge modern tower. It's always good to have a stop and a break in between exploring the city. Obviously having like a short bite, and this is kind of pizza type sandwich in Lebanon. And I want to add that surprisingly the food is relatively expensive. Thank you. This, for example, set that you see costs around $6. Money wise, here you can pay with American dollars, cash, kind of everywhere, and also in the local currency. But there is not even a need to exchange dollars, because everything is connected to this, the green stuff. So yeah, but definitely I would expect for shawarma, for basic sandwiches, to pay $2 or $3. Not 6, okay, not 5, yeah? Which basically tells us that Beirut is still, Lebanon is more pricey country in the neighborhood. Except Israel, of course. No luck with the shoes, but good luck with the barber. What's your name?
Bilal,
Bilan. I'm Orest.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let's go. Okay, so the haircut is done. Next step is shaving, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, this is getting interesting. We'll see what will happen now. But yeah, very good attention to details, right? I really love the level of men's wellness in Middle Eastern countries. This is one of the best things to do. All right, so we did it. You see, I look like a normal person, well maintained with the soft skin, and thank you very much. Shukran. Shukran.
Welcome. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Naturally, on the coastline, the life is flourishing. Interesting, right? How so many different faces could be coinciding together on a few square kilometers. So here the life goes on, people enjoying their good time. The waves are washing the shores of Beirut. Some new development is happening next to a pretty dense urban landscape. You can see also like an old villa with the new apartments. It was a different experience when I visited Beirut this time comparing to 5 years ago. The city is beautiful in all of its forms. Obviously, the life is changing. Sometimes there's ups, sometimes there are down, but the local people of Lebanon are always friendly and welcoming. I hope it showed you the perspective, and it proved that it's possible to go there, and there are many things to do, to see, to experience. Let this beautiful sunset that we are seeing at the moment be a symbol of hopefully bright future for the city and for this country, because definitely we all want to live in a good world. So I wish all the best to you, to people of Lebanon, and to the entire world. Good luck, and see you in the upcoming videos. Bye bye.